Coming up today on Studio 13 Live.
First ever host of the Hunger Games.
The official trailer for the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is out. We're diving in and talking all about the cast of the prequel movie.
And Mark McNeely from Mark Ryan Winery and celebrity chef John Howie are teaming up to sell pre-made meal kits. We're getting a full demo.
Then we're getting our caricatures drawn by Over the Line Art. Hear about their classic and digital artworks, art brush apparel, and more.
And Outliers cooking up their signature smash burgers and craft milkshakes. See how they're celebrating National Burger Month with a special burger and beer pairings throughout May. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Hello, happy Friday, my friends. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're so excited to have you. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm China Green. What a fun week we have had, but what an amazing time it is to live in Seattle right now.
No kidding. There's so much going on, especially in the world of sports. We have to talk about our Seattle Kraken. The team is back home at Climate Pledge Arena tonight. They've got a chance to advance into the playoffs, and let's look back at Monday's game, which became the team's first home playoff win in franchise history.
Eberle gets it in the slot. Schwartz. Eberle scores! Jordan Eberle, Game 4.
The Kraken won Game 4 in the series against the Colorado Avalanche in overtime. And after a Game 5 win in Denver, they've got a chance to make more history tonight, now being one win away from reaching the next round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. There are still some tickets available for resale. They start at around $275. If you can't get inside Climate Pledge Arena for the game, though, the team's hosting an official watch party right next door at the Armory starting at 4 p.m. We've got to take it home.
Now, I can't afford to go, but I can assume it is going to be absolutely insane inside that arena.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the energy is so high for a normal Kraken game. I feel like tonight is just going to be electric.
Yes. And then Brian McMillan, his first game is today. What a game to go to of all of them.
I'm so excited for him to experience it. You can hear him in the background.
Excited.
Yeah.
And then the Seattle sports excitement obviously continues because the Mariners just revealed their new Nike City Connect jerseys. So check them out. They are blue and yellow. They're inspired by the old Seattle Pilot jerseys. The team will wear these every Friday home game starting next week versus the Houston Astros. The Nike MLB City Connect program was created in 2021. It's to celebrate the bond between teams and their cities. The jerseys are now available at the Mariners team stores located at T-Mobile Park and in downtown. And you're always nervous about these because when they release it, people either love them or they hate them. And we're hearing a lot of good things about this one.
A lot of good things. I was looking on Twitter, and I feel like the thing that I'm seeing people really split about are the color of the pants that go with these jerseys.
We don't like them?
They're doing black pants, so it's like a blue and yellow jersey with black pants. Some people say, no, we got to have blue pants. Other people are embracing the black pants. I like the black. I don't mind it. You know, let us know on social media. What do you think? Moving on to some entertainment news here. The first official trailer was released for the Hunger Games prequel movie. Take a look.
I am honored to introduce to you the creator of the Hunger Games themselves, Dean Casca Highbottom.
10th annual reaping ceremony.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is an adaptation of the book with the same name. Everybody's talking about the cast, featuring Viola Davis, Rachel Zegler, Hunter Schafer, and Peter Dinklage. Producers say that you can expect to hear extraordinary songs in the movie, which hits theaters in November. It feels like so long since the last Hunger Games film came out in 2015.
2015?
Yeah, so it was like 8 years ago.
Wow.
I read all of the books. I love those films too. And this one looks like it's going to be fantastic.
I think this is the only movie and series that I can sit still for a few hours. That's about it for me.
Our addiction to like TikTok and short form video makes it a little bit hard, but it's definitely worth it, I feel like, with this one.
I'm stoked for that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Rihanna because she's always a topic. She will voice Smurfette in the upcoming live-action musical adventure, The Smurfs movie. She made an appearance at CinemaCon to share her excitement for the role. So she'll help produce the film and will also be writing and performing original music for this. So you are going to have to pack your patience, though, because the movie will not be released until February of 2025. So they're taking a a page out of the Hunger Games book by waiting so long. But Rihanna, she seems to do it all.
She does it all. I don't know if this is exactly what I was picturing when I was begging for another Rihanna album.
Yes.
But we'll take what we can get, I guess.
Yes.
She has a kid now, so, you know, parents do things like
Switching.
kids' movies for their kids.
Yeah.
She's going to be amazing in it. I'm just like about to give up on waiting for R9.
Yeah.
You know?
We need some dance music, Rihanna.
Yeah, give it to us, girl. We're getting closer and closer to Dolly Parton's rock and roll album. The first single from it, called World on Fire, will debut at the Country Music Awards next month. The album's titled Rockstar, and it features duets with Stevie Nicks, Pink, Steven Tyler, and Paul McCartney. If you don't remember, she's making this album because she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 2022, but she didn't feel comfortable calling herself a rock artist. So she went ahead and made a rock album. How about that?
I think that is so noble of her. You know, for her to say that and for her to actually do that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear what that sounds like.
Yeah.
And the transition into kind of a different genre for her.
Yeah, she has so many amazing artists that we listed, you know, that she's collaborating
Yes.
with on this. And I'm like, does Dolly Parton have imposter syndrome too? And she's just like, no, I want to earn it. I want to make
Right,
sure I make
right.
rock music. She released a song today with BB Rexa. It's on BB's album that just came out today.
Wow.
It's more of like a soft rock. I wouldn't say it's like hardcore rock
Yeah.
and roll, but it's really good too. And there's a really cool black and white music video that goes along with it.
And I'm
So-
also stoked to see her outfits because I feel like she's going to have some sort of leather jacket crop
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
and her nails. So we'll
always
see what's going on there. But people are apparently fed up with Ticketmaster again. This time over King Charles' coronation concert next week. So Ticketmaster was hired to give away 10,000 free tickets to the event, but those who tried to get them say that they're kind of confused by the process because many received congratulations emails when they clicked on the link, but they were unavailable. So that's despite Ticketmaster saying to fans they had 2 days to claim their tickets. Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Andrea Bocelli are performing at the concert. So Ticketmaster. Let's get with it.
Let's get with it. We need more options than just Ticketmaster. I
Were
think that
you-
is more apparent than ever.
Were you involved in the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster debacle?
Yeah, a little bit, and also Harry Styles, which came
Oh,
before
right,
that,
right,
which was just horrible. I got the pre-sale link code and everything like that, and it was an incredibly frustrating experience. I won't make everyone relive it. Got tickets to the show now, so it's going to be all good with Taylor Swift. But yeah, we definitely need more options in this. I'm really excited with this coronation just to watch what happens with Prince Harry there, because so much has happened, so
Right.
many revelations
Yeah.
have come out in the last year between his book Spare and then of course like the Netflix, you know, short documentary series that that Harry and Meghan did. So I'm just going to be like watching with a magnifying glass. I'm sure the entire world will be too.
Yes.
Well, while it may seem like people who take or post a lot of selfies are self-absorbed, apparently that might not actually be the case. This is great news. Researchers at The Ohio State University say that there can be complex emotions at play when it comes to selfies that we don't even realize. So they recruited 2,000 participants. They asked them about the selfies that they had taken or what kind of experiences inspired them to take the photos. The researchers found that selfies appear to serve as a way to capture the deeper meaning of moments or remind us what it felt like to be there. This is great news. I never felt like selfies were that deep, though. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're just feeling yourself.
Yes.
Or you want to check your makeup.
I feel like I only take a selfie when I walk past a mirror and I'm like, wait, I did this? This makeup is, I don't even know who I am right now.
Hello.
That's about it. Or my hair, I'm like, I gotta document it because it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, gotta document it. I remember back in the day when it was like, no one took solo photos really, or if you did, it was just very occasional. So I remember even when I was studying abroad, I was like, well, I can't take a picture by myself and I'm in all these countries, but I'm with all these other people that I haven't necessarily stayed in touch with. So I wish that selfies and solo photos were a little bit more of a thing back then so that we had them. But we have selfies now and we're not self-absorbed for taking them apparently.
Oh, how they have evolved. And what's evolved is also cars, but maybe we're going back because old school technology, they could actually be making a comeback when it comes to cars. So that is because touch screens on newer models are not hitting the right buttons with drivers. So automakers like Porsche and Hyundai, they say that they are bringing back classic control features. Auto experts say that drivers prefer buttons and knobs, and safety experts say touch screens are distracting anyway. So I feel like this is great news for Lexus. And a lot of people, you know, they don't like the newer models because, you know, it's a $90,000 Lexus GX or LX, and it doesn't look like it's, you know, from 2023, even though it's brand new. However, that car will be on the roads for 20 years because things don't go wrong. And when you have more technology, things will go wrong. And when you're buying a $90,000 car, you want that thing to last forever. And the touch screens and all those things, it is just more things to go wrong. So I am all for this.
I fully support this too. I feel like everyone got so excited about touchscreens for so long.
Yes.
But some of them are just unnecessary. Like, and it does in my car when I have a touchscreen and I'm using that, I feel like it's more difficult and it takes me longer and it's more difficult to focus on pushing that specific button, which is like recenter if you're using Google Maps or something like that. And it is distracting.
Right.
So I'm really glad that this is getting phased out a little bit. You know, especially like on soda fountains, if there's a touch screen on there, I'm like, why do we need a touch screen
You have
for
to
this?
tap it 5 times
So
for it to
many
go.
times.
Yes.
Just let us have a button and a knob. We're good there.
Well, even with getting into my apartment, I have to use my phone to do this like thing where I put it to the door and then it unlocks. But sometimes my phone dies. Sometimes my Bluetooth isn't working. I'm just like, give me a key.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to the basics.
In a slot. It's worked for hundreds of years. Well, still talking about technology, let's talk about it when it comes to dating. Would you share your phone's location with your significant other? Out of 31,000 people asked, 61% said yes and 39% said no. Some argue that if you have nothing to hide, what's the big deal? Others say that it's a little bit more about safety, but a third group say that it raises concerns because it could encourage distrust in your relationship. Where do you stand on this?
It's actually funny that you asked this because I just shared permanently my location with my fiance. So I was taking a flight, I was in an Uber, and he said, hey, can you share your location just to be safe? And then I permanently shared it with him. But the way he reacted to me telling him that I was going to permanently share my location with him told me everything I needed to know about him. I'm marrying him anyway, but he said, you know, just so you know, you don't have to share your location with me all the time. I don't care to know where you are all the time. And I thought that was really sweet. However, as a woman, I do feel comfortable with him knowing where I am all the time. That's just a preference.
Yeah. I've only done it when I've like been picking him up at the airport. I'm like, okay, I'm sharing my location with you, so you know the moment that I roll up, because you know your GPS says you arrive at a certain time, and then you have to get into the airport and get to the right gate and everything. So I feel like it's convenient for that. But we don't do it on a more permanent basis like you're talking about. But that sounds really sweet.
I was taken aback, and there's those moments in a relationship where you're like, that's why I'm marrying you. And so that could be a test. Maybe say you're going to share permanently your location, see how they react. If they're like, oh, thank goodness I wanted to ask you this, then, or if they say something like, I don't need to, then
no pressure, but I'd love to, you know, watch out for you. That's so sweet. I love it.
All right, so still to come, so much more to come on Studio 13 Live. So it is time to check in with TMZ for our top entertainment headlines.
Yeah, we're going to tell you why Ed Sheeran performed live from the courtroom during his copyright trial, right after the break.
Oh, that's catchy.
Yeah, isn't
I like
it?
that. It's time to take a look at what is popping in celebrity news.
For that, we're bringing in TMZ senior news producer, Jacob Wasserman. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you on this beautiful Friday. Let's talk about Post Malone, because I hear that he is just absolutely tired of people saying that his recent weight loss is the result of drug use. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so he's been on tour and he's currently in Europe. And when Post Malone performs, I mean, he's all over the place on stage. He's fallen on the floor. And I think just in light of this and in light of losing a ton of weight recently, there have been some concerned fans online suspecting that he's been using drugs. But he went on Instagram last night and said that that's not the case at all. If you recall, Post actually just had a new baby. And he's trying to think, how can I live a cleaner, healthier life so I can live longer for this child? And with that, he has had a much healthier diet, and he's looking to cut out smoking and drinking just moving forward. So I think you just have to commend him, and fortunately, he's doing great.
Definitely. I'm glad he's clearing that up, too. And there's other ways to get energy other than drugs, you know?
Maybe people are just high on life, you know? He's in front of all of his fans doing his thing. It's exciting. Maybe you want to roll around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fun. All right, so during the Ed Sheeran and the Marvin Gaye copyright trial, Ed Sheeran actually performed in the courtroom. So what can you tell us about that?
He was live in federal court on Thursday. And I mean, I couldn't imagine being on this jury, as you mentioned. So one of the songwriters from the Marvin Gaye classic, Let's Get It On, the estate is suing Ed Sheeran, claiming that Ed Sheeran's hit song from 2014 is they was mimicking Let's Get It On. This was Ed Sheeran's song, I forgot to say, Thinking Out Loud. We all know and love that song. And Ed Sheeran performed it to the jury to show how his song is different from Marvin Gaye's, and he pulled out his guitar, was singing the chorus. And I mean, listen, I know jury is supposed to be objective here, but we're all human. And I think if we were just witnessing a intimate performance by Ed Sheeran, we might be swayed one way or another. So it must have been incredible in that Manhattan courtroom.
Oh, definitely. Can you imagine being a juror, like just drawing, like winning the lottery, basically, getting to be there for the Ed Sheeran trial and then getting a concert out of it?
You get the thing in the mail saying your summons, you're like, and then you go.
Total 180. Jacob Wasserman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. All right, coming up, we are joined by Mark McNeely from Mark Ryan Winery and celebrity chef John Howie.
They are going to talk about their new products for sale at Costco, and of course, we're cooking up some delicious food. One of Seattle's iconic chefs has teamed up with one of Seattle's iconic winemakers to launch a new meal that you can get at Costco.
And today we are joined by the icons themselves, Mark McNeely from Mark Ryan Winery and restaurateur John Howie. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys. So you guys have been friends for a while.
I've known John since pretty much day one of my winery.
Yeah, forever.
I love that. So tell us kind of about this partnership and how you came up with this.
Well, it's kind of interesting because the stroganoff was something that Costco had talked to me about doing.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do it, and then I said, you know what would make this even better is to put Mark's wine in it.
Yeah.
So I called Mark, and we had a little conversation for a while, and eventually I said, hey, you're going to want to do this. This is going to be awesome. And he said, okay, let's do it.
Yep. So for the first time, we're using wine as an ingredient.
Love that.
In this recipe here, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So show us how to make it. What are we doing?
Okay, well, I'll show you how it comes. So it comes in this box, right? And what makes it nice is that it's not all one package. So you have a sauce here. You have the noodles, which make it so the noodles stay nice and firm.
Okay.
And then there's also beef.
Okay.
So the beef piece, it's all together, and you can put it into a pan, like I've done here, or you can mix it, put it in the microwave, and it takes like 6 minutes.
Okay.
So there's lots of options. You can put it in the, oven as well. Now, Costco is so great about getting great products for their members. I mean, I am not just a fan, but a member.
Yeah, of course. Got to get all the deals.
And so I like to put just a little bit of sour cream on top to finish, and then some chives. And China, I know that Carly's going to try the soup that we do at Costco.
Okay, tell me about the soup.
So this is a Thai coconut curry soup. And it is in Costco. It's been in 3 different times. It'll come back in September. We have a lot of guests who call us and say, can you make it for us so we can have it? But no, wait till September. It'll be back. It'll be back in the store. But
this is incredible.
It's got such great flavor for something that just comes out of a package.
Totally.
Now, this is not frozen at the store. It comes fresh.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just put it right into the pan or into the microwave. And of course, a little red wine with that makes it even better.
I think some Mark Ryan, John Howie Cabernet, which has been a 10-year project we've been working on together.
Our guests love this wine.
We love this wine. We're about
This soup. This is so delicious.
Thank
so
you.
warming, a little kick to it.
That's why
It's
they
really
wait till
nice.
September to put it back in the store.
I can see
'cause
that.
They like to have a little seasonal products.
And so apparently you were one of the first cooking segments on this show.
The very first I remember, actually.
Mireya loved it. I wasn't here yet. Mireya loved it and actually went to Costco to get it.
No. This was stroganoff, and it was at Beardsley. It's where we make it. We make it with filet mignon there, and we make it with a longer noodle and that type of stuff. That's what I was saying, that it's a little different than what I did on the show the first time.
Okay.
So we kind of fixed that recipe to make it good for Costco. And this is like 2.5 pounds worth of food. So you can feed 4 people.
Or,
That's
you know,
amazing.
depending on what you're going through in life, just one sitting.
Enjoy it yourself.
Or one person. Yeah. This is probably a 2 serving for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe Mark too.
Maybe, yeah, I think I'm in that camp.
All right, tell us all about this wine.
So the wine I poured for you guys, which I think goes great with the beef stroganoff and the soup as well. This is Cabernet Sauvignon that we do for John every year.
Cheers.
We meet with John and Eric, and we put this blend together. You can only find it at John Howie Steak, Sea Star, and Beardsley. And kind of a fun thing we're doing, we're working on a white wine for them as well. So we're proposing this. So this is kind of a first look at some Chardonnay that we're proposing for a John Howie label that could be out in the next couple of months.
That's so exciting.
Eric is my wine director and sommelier who's known Mark even longer than I have.
Eric and I were in the trenches selling wine for distributors in the early days.
Yeah.
So fun stuff.
And Eric's also my distiller for my distillery that's in Bothell and soon to be opening in Ballard.
You do it all. I remember when he came to visit you, you gave us tastes of so many different spirits. You even have like non-alcoholic spirits.
We do. He made Genesis, which is awesome.
Yes,
it's a great non-alcoholic
I
spirit.
think I was at the Space Needle and I saw that they have that in the bar up there
nice.
too. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we just won double gold Best in Show at the San Francisco.
Of course you did.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Congratulations.
San Francisco show for our rye.
How does that feel? Do you ever get sick of just like winning everything, or does it feel good every time?
It feels good every time. Every time it feels good. So.
What do you guys remember about your first impressions of each other when you met?
Oh, I was terrified of this guy.
You guys are both really tall.
Don't let him kid you.
No. We've just, I mean, we have, our wine and John's restaurants just have always fit well together. So even before we started making wines for the restaurant group, he was a great customer for all of our Mark Ryan wines and Board Track Racer labels as well.
I'll tell you one thing that really worked out well was during the pandemic. We did family meals, and every time we matched Mark's wine with our family meals, we'd sell almost 1 to 2 bottles for every family meal we did.
Oh my God.
And it really kind of
Easy
helped
pairing.
out getting some more wine out there too. So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
during a time when it wasn't easy for any of us.
Everybody was kind of struggling and figuring out how to do this.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
us and John Howie worked well together.
And now you're here. And let's get back to this food. I have always said I will burn cereal. So is this like China proof? Is there no way? Because can I make it taste like this? Because I don't feel like I can do this.
You just mix the packages together.
That's
China,
it?
Put them in a microwavable bowl.
Microwave?
Yeah, put it in the microwave
Talking
for
to
4
me.
minutes, pull it out, toss it, put it back in the microwave for 2 minutes. It's done. It's just like this, ready to go. It's
There we
that simple.
go.
This is so exciting.
Even my wife can do it, and she only makes popcorn and Chardonnay.
Hey, she married the right person, right?
We love to hear it.
What's
did.
something y'all haven't done before that you really want to do next?
You go first.
There's so many.
Yeah.
We're talking about maybe starting to import a little champagne.
Yep.
And through John and Eric's connections in France, we might be able to make that happen. So we're at early stages, but we think that'd be a great addition to our portfolio.
It would
Maybe
be
by
an
New
awesome
Year's?
addition. And what it is that the gentleman who, we've done our own champagne for several years. Eric goes back to champagne. He just came back 2 weeks ago from blending our champagne. It gets bottled, and then 2 years later we pick it up. So Michel Bismontier was the gentleman who was working for Dualois. When they sold, they didn't want to do it anymore. But anyways, Michel started his own. And so we're getting him to make wine that hopefully Mark will be able to import, and we'll have great champagne from Michel too.
Yeah.
Would you cook with it?
You know what? This is what I like. So people say, you put anything in there, it's okay. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put wine in my food that I wouldn't drink.
Great.
And so
Right.
that's what I'm
Because
happy
sometimes
with.
people think that's like the less exciting wine that they put, or cheaper wine, I guess I would say,
Yeah.
that they cook with. But you're
Yeah.
saying cook with the
No,
good stuff.
Cook with good wine.
Yeah.
You don't use a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, then drink the rest.
And drink the rest.
Yeah. And let everyone who's watching know where they can come. After they've bought the Costco meals and gotten the wine, where can they find your products around Seattle, and what restaurants?
Well, all of John's restaurants
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
We
You can find
partner.
Marks pretty much
I think
everywhere.
Everywhere, both
I think
of
our
them are
wines are
everywhere.
out there pretty broadly distributed.
Yeah, but John Howie Steak is got a wide array of Mark's wines and
Yeah.
stuff, and so does Beardsley. And actually, do we have it on tap there too? Not right now.
We're working on that.
Soon.
Working on it.
We have a tap system at Beardsley,
Yeah.
and so we've been working on trying to get some of his on tap too.
Yeah.
Now,
is really nice.
I think usually on this show, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys take some bites and you put it down and you chat. I have not been able to.
You've not put that bowl down.
So I've just been this whole segment. It is
love it.
absolutely fantastic.
So this is.
Oh, we got a white one
We gotta
now?
try the
You get to
Chardonnay
taste
before we
you
go.
get to taste the Chardonnay.
So this
Okay.
is not
You're
even
the first ones to taste it.
first ones to
ever.
try it, and we have not settled on this yet, but this is being proposed.
Yeah.
So.
Carly,
Yeah, do that.
100%?
Do that. Propose that.
So this is how,
love
in the
it.
wine business, if we don't know what the label is, it's always blue tape with a
Okay.
Sharpie. So
I love
You
it.
should just have it like that.
that could be a label right
Yeah, just sell it.
All of my guests would like that.
Yeah.
Very industrial.
It's a personal touch,
It's a
you
new
know?
look.
Mark and John, thank you so much.
Our
It's been so
pleasure.
fun having you in
so much
today.
fun.
And
Me
always
too.
come see us anytime.
Of course.
We've got a link with more info on Mark Ryan Winery and John Howie restaurants up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, Over the Line Art is joining us in studio to draw our caricatures.
So hear all about how they're bringing joy to others through their unique artworks on paper, digitally, and with an airbrush.
You've probably seen Over the Line Art drawing caricatures for people at Pike Place Market, Seattle Center, Woodland Park Zoo, and fairs and festivals throughout the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, so not only do they draw on paper, but they also create art digitally and make memorable experiences at private events. So here to share all about their business is Nolan Harris and Dexter Rothschild, co-owners and artists of Over the Line Art. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Excited.
Our
so
pleasure.
good to see you.
Yeah,
What a
nice to
fun
see
job you both have.
It's a pretty cool gig.
How long have you guys been creating art, and how did you get started making caricatures specifically?
So Nolan and I have been doing this for over 20 years.
Wow. Together?
Actually, yes. We both started out drawing at an amusement park in Cincinnati, Ohio.
No way.
Yes, making fun of people, drawing them as silly as humanly possible. Before we came out here and started tearing it up.
Okay, so you're drawing characters of China and I right now.
Oh, I'm terrified. Okay, what inspired you two to open your business and talk to us about the different services?
Well, when we first got out here, we noticed that there was a large disparity of art entertainment out here. There was nothing. So when we got out here, we first kicked off with doing caricatures at the Seattle Center and at the waterfront.
Okay.
After a while, we started getting contacted by a ton of different companies like Microsoft, Google, Adobe, and then we realized, man, there's a huge demand for entertainment at parties.
Yeah.
So that's when we started doing parties and entertainment as well as retail caricatures.
Yeah, tell us more about the kind of private events you do.
Oh, well, we do parties big and small. It could be birthday parties, corporate events. Some of the parties, they have requests for 20 caricature
Oh my
artists.
gosh.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
how long does it typically take you to make one?
A typical drawing takes about 3 minutes. If they have a lot of hair, maybe 5.
Oh my god.
Do we have enough time to do mine? So talk to us about the history of caricatures. Like, where did this originate?
Well, Dexter could probably tell you better than me, but I believe it originated in Italy, right?
Yep, that's right. One of the first caricature artists is Leonardo da Vinci, and he actually coined the term. Caricatures means in Italian, loaded portrait. So if you look at some of his earlier sketchbooks, he would be going to bars, just drawing people as silly and stupid as humanly possible. And that tradition has continued for artists to this very day.
I love it. We're with these modern day Da Vincis right here, right now.
Oh, stop.
How many people would you say you've drawn at this point?
Oh, geez, you know, I've speculated. I've been doing this for 24 years now, and I would have to say at least 500,000.
Oh my gosh. So how would you say that you capture people so accurately? Like, what's the trick here?
Oh, we make it up and pray it looks like them.
Wait, really?
No.
Industry secret, guys.
Yeah.
Just mix and match a couple of features?
No, we. I like to call the process the sweetening. We look at every feature on a person, and we slightly make it bigger or smaller, and then when it all comes together, it just miraculously looks like them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because when I'm watching people draw them and I see the people, it looks like them, but if they have a really big nose, y'all go full out with that nose. And if they have no lips, there's no lips to be seen.
That's low-hanging fruit, and we love it when that happens.
Oh, yeah, it makes our jobs very easy.
And then you can also add some personality with like crowns. When I said I wanted to look like Meghan Markle, or superhero capes.
Oh yeah, we can do the whole kit and caboodle. We draw lots of people as you know, their favorite sports team, their favorite sports figures, superheroes. I once drew a guy as a cyborg fighting a giant kraken, so we can get really crazy.
We have one artist. He loves to draw everybody like food.
like food.
Okay.
Yeah, so the hair
It's like
could
a
be
fish stick.
spaghetti, and there could be meatballs on top.
Okay.
I love food. I love that idea.
Me too.
Fish
I
stick,
get
that's a
hungry
good
when I
idea.
draw next to him. So.
I bet.
Yeah.
So how do you talk to people like this and create art? It seems like you'd have to be so focused.
Yeah,
doing
how are
that
you
at the same
doing this?
time.
You're doing an interview on TV while drawing.
Yeah.
It takes a ton of practice. You know, keep in mind, Dexter and I have been doing this for 2 decades now. But what we try to do is we just try to key into people's personalities. When they sit down, we try to get a good read on them. I was just saying earlier that if someone isn't smiling when they sit down and they look really grumpy or not happy to be there, we don't draw them smiling. We draw them looking grumpy.
Oh, I did think about when I walked in to shake your hand, I was like, they're going to be trying to figure out what the features are right away. So
We actually only do that on request. Reality is we like making money, and hurting people's feelings isn't really good for business.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever had a bad experience when turning around the portrait?
Oh yeah, one time I was punched. But
No, you were not.
I was.
Man or woman?
Man, well, in their defense, they were 5. So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He sold it like a champion, though.
Oh my gosh, has anyone ever made you redo theirs?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It comes with the territory,
Yeah.
and you got to grow thick skin when you start doing this.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to have a thick skin going into getting a caricature
Oh, yeah.
done,
I mean, you
right?
have to know what you're going into. You have to know if you have big teeth, the teeth is going to be half the page.
Yeah.
So what is the price ranges for these? I've never gotten one done, so this is my first one. So what do you guys charge for this?
Well, if you were to find us at a fair or festival, a black and white drawing would run you $19 plus tax. If you wanted to get something a little fancier, like a body and color, those top off at $49 plus tax per person.
Okay, cool. What's something that would surprise people about what you guys do?
Oh man, half the time we're drawing, we're thinking about our laundry list.
You're not even here right now.
That's right. I'm totally checked out at the moment. Honestly, usually we talk to make the guest feel at ease and comfortable, because it's an incredibly awkward experience.
Okay.
Having a hairy 6'2" dude stare at you, examining your features.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're constantly joking to make the process easier.
So I saw you put the cap back on your marker. Does that mean you're done with mine?
I am done, but I may let it gesticulate to keep the
Okay.
suspense going.
There's a lot of work going on this, so he's still working on mine.
Sometimes you have to let a good drawing
He's
marinate,
creating
ladies.
a masterpiece, you know?
A
We've got
masterpiece.
30 seconds.
Oh, okay,
We'd love
okay.
to see the reveal.
Oh, you
when
want to
we
see the
can.
reveal? Okay.
Ready?
Okay,
One,
yes.
2, 3.
There you go.
Oh, I like it. Look at that.
Thank you, China.
There's an
I look
image
a
of
little
you.
mischievous here, don't
Oh,
you think?
Well, I draw what I see.
Okay.
I look like I've had
is cute.
so much plastic surgery done.
My pleasure.
I mean, I'll take it. I like it. I like the
So does this mean I
thing.
have high cheekbones or no cheekbones?
You have amazing cheekbones, which are the fountain of
Okay.
youth.
Thank you so
Let me see
much.
this one. Look at
Let me see yours.
that. This
That
is
looks
so
like
fun.
you. I love the bangs. I love the
yours
hair.
too. That's great.
I can't even smile, and you can't even see my eyes because my cheeks are so big.
Nolan and Dexter, thank you so much for
Oh,
coming
thanks
in.
for having
This
us.
was
Our pleasure.
awesome. We've got a link with more info on Over the Line Art up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13 Live.
All right, still ahead. You know her from Breaking Bad, and now actress Betsy Brandt is starring in an episode of the hit Fox show Accused.
I'll be chatting with her about the episode and her ties to Seattle. We'll be right back.
Is that a DNA kit? I just wanted to know more.
Your sperm donor felon claimed to have a master's degree.
Maybe one of those guys was my dad.
He wasn't your father. He was an anonymous donor.
That is a clip from next week's episode of Accused. And joining me to talk all about this episode, Betsy Brandt. Hi, Betsy. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to talk to you. Tell us all about your episode.
Listen, I love the show. I'm a big fan of the show. But my episode, I play a single mom, and my daughter, who's played by the amazing BB Wood, who I got to work with on Love Victor. Sorry, my dog is walking around. She is a very curious teenager, and she wants information about her birth father, and I really don't want to give it to her. And we're both very stubborn, and it's complicated. It's good, but it's complicated. The thing about The Accused is it's normal people that you get to meet and you relate to them, and then they find themselves in a situation where they end up having to make a decision that they thought they would never make. And someone is going to make a decision that's going to land them in court. And that's where we go to at the end of every episode.
Yeah, this show is intense. And like you said, a lot of episodes include a moral dilemma. Outside of your own episode, do you have a favorite episode of the show?
Oh my gosh.
There's been so many great people on it.
Oh, I got to tell you, the Malcolm Jamal Warner one was like, I keep thinking about that. I keep thinking about that one. And the one with Rachel Bilson, I was like, oh my God, really? Like it's like sometimes you watch the show and you're like, no. And then sometimes you're like, ooh. I mean, my husband and I love watching it together. And so I'm going to miss the show. My episode airs the 2nd. The finale is the 9th. And then it does have a season 2, which I'm thankful for. But then we have to wait for that. And so that kind of sucks. But, we'll get through it. We'll find other shows to watch.
For sure. We're so excited to see your episode. We were talking before this, and you said that you used to live in Seattle in Capitol Hill, right? What do you remember about living
I lived in
here?
Capitol Hill. I moved there after college. I worked at the Intimon and ACT. I absolutely loved it. I drank a lot of coffee. I also drank a lot of microbrews. I had a great time. I loved it and I miss it. I fully intend on working there again.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And you're such an icon. I mean, you were Marie on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. You were on the Michael J. Fox show. What's been your favorite role so far up until this point?
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's tough. That's tough for me. Listen, Breaking Bad was life-changing for me, like in my career, but also to spend 6 years with that group of people was amazing. I have to say, this show, we still text and we're still in touch. I wished it wasn't just one episode. This show was that good. And I know what it's like to, have coworkers that you love making TV with that much and just love being around. And I swear to God, this episode, if we didn't have that, there are a few scenes that were risky. That I'm like, God, I don't know how you get that to work with a different cast. But I say this, and right now I'm on a show called Saint X on Hulu, and we shot that in the Dominican Republic. And when you are out, but we had this on Breaking Bad too, you're living out there. Like when you're on location on a show, it's like all you have is each other. And so you get really tight.
For sure. When you're saying that you can only do one episode, I mean, that's the rule. But then there's always like little cases like White Lotus where Jennifer Coolidge, Tanya gets brought back for another season. So you never know, right?
You made my day just saying that. You made my day because I didn't even think of that. Because I'm like, oh, it's an anthology. I'm like, they never. But I'm a huge fan of the show, and I think Howard Gordon he's so talented, can do no wrong, and it's just like it's really great. And I love. I also it's fun to be on a network again. Like we do so much streaming and stuff now, and I love watching TV like that too. But I like to watch this on Fox on Tuesdays. It just, my husband and I look forward to it.
Absolutely. I remember seeing an interview that you did with Rolling Stone like 10 years ago, and in it you mentioned that you don't allow purple in your house. Is that still the case?
I don't. This is my house. This is not, I have other rooms, but there's no purple in those rooms either. At the time, right after my daughter and my kids were younger then, and she loved purple. And so she had quite a bit of purple in her bedroom. And I was like, that's your choice. That's your choice. But I don't, it's just, and it's one of the few things, if I'm talking to a costume designer, I say, not to put, creative boundaries on anybody else and their work. I said, but I would really appreciate it if you don't put me in too much purple. It's like, that's someone else to me.
You lived it. You're moving on. Betsy Brandt.
I lived it. And the people whose location house we used for Hank and Marie's house, they had to live with it too during the season. I mean, there was a purple wall, there was a lot of purple in their house too.
Oh my gosh. Betsy Brandt, thank you so much for chatting with Studio 13 Live.
Thank you for having me. Big love to you, Seattle.
You too. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right, Accused airs Tuesdays at 9 p.m. right here on Fox 13. And coming up on Studio 13 Live, Outliers cooking up some delicious burgers, including their smash burger and cookies and cream milkshake. See how they are celebrating National Burger Month with specials all throughout May. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile.
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our area.
And today we are joined by Ben Davison and Chef Dakota Warder with Outliers. So thank you guys for joining us today. We are stoked for this.
Yeah, so Outlier, it's a modern burger bar. It's in downtown's financial district, right? Yes. Tell us kind of about the spot and, you know, what people can expect on your menu.
Yeah, we're a craft burger bar. Chef created everything. We focus on local ingredients. All of our burgers are really fun. They've got all kinds of great ingredients. We've got like a Western burger with house-made bacon, a lamb burger with like great goat cheese and like roasted chilies on it. And we have the best milkshakes in town.
Okay, well, a little preview for what we're gonna get to try later.
Yeah, so let's start making something. Let's make it smell good in here. What are we doing?
All right, so we're gonna be making our smash burger with the Impossible Patty.
Okay, what makes something a smash burger?
So traditionally, a smash burger is something where it's really flattened and smashed down, cooked all the way through.
Nice, nice. And May is National Burger Month. What are y'all doing to celebrate?
So we're gonna be doing a cowboy burger. So it's gonna be having double bacon, egg, avocado, and then caramelized onions and American cheese.
How do we get to cowboy? How did that name come about?
You know, I kind of grew up as a Western kind of guy, so you know, I'm a big into Western stuff like that, and just the classical Western burger is just all about meat and bacon. Yep,
It's got two kinds of meat, eggs, everything you could possibly need at once.
I love that. So toast in the bun.
Toast in the bun. We're gonna get a nice sear on the patty.
How long does it usually take to make a burger, start to finish?
Start to finish for the smash burger, you're talking anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Real quick, real easy.
What's your favorite?
Gotta be the Western.
The Western?
Yeah, you know, it's the bacon. It's indulgent all the right ways.
Yeah.
Doesn't let my doctor know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gluttonous.
We won't tell anybody.
It already smells really good. It
smells
unfortunate for you at home who can't.
And then this is a personal recipe of mine. It's an agrodolce onion, so it's a sweet pickled red onions.
Oh my gosh.
You cook it down in red wine and sugar. And
Yes.
you just cook it all the way down until you get like a nice caramely texture.
So I'm noticing a trend here that lettuce and tomato is not a thing.
Not for me.
Okay.
Okay, why was that?
You know, just feel like if you're gonna have a burger, it should be all about the meat and not all about the lettuce.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, I still like to have a little bit of a lettuce on certain burgers, you know.
Yeah.
Our current chicken burger right now is kind of a Greek theme, so we got some marinated cucumbers, some raw red onions, and arugula.
What is a chicken burger?
So I take a ground chicken and then I grind it up with a little bit of chicken skin, so that kind of has a fat content.
Okay.
So it's like the same idea as a regular burger, just with chicken.
Okay.
So it kind of gives for me, it's kind of help for my diet because I have dietary restrictions with red meat.
Okay.
So it's always nice for me to have a solid chicken burger, other than just like, you know, just a chicken thigh, you know,
Right.
or a fried chicken sandwich like everyone else does.
Sometimes you want to get messy. You want to have a burger.
Yeah.
Get a burger.
We got a burger.
So what goes into creating your menu? Because you have some crazy items on there. Yeah. So are you guys taste testing all the time to, you know, innovate the burger world, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We eat a lot of burgers.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh, you poor thing.
Terrifying amount of burgers.
It's a tough job if somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and you know, for us, it's about, you know, keeping it fresh, keeping it fun.
Yeah.
You know, going out to other places and, you know, getting a lot of inspiration. Right now, our executive chef is in Scotland, so I'm sure when she gets back, we're probably going to be doing some Scottish theme style stuff like that.
Okay. Like cooking in a kilt?
Yeah.
There's a haggis burger in our future.
Oh my gosh, haggis.
So right now I'm just putting on the American white cheddar cheese. Once that gets a little melted, put it on there and good to go.
And is that the main cheese you use for all the different types of burgers?
This is just for the smash burger because it has a better melting point for me.
Okay.
For the most part, we usually just use yellow cheddar.
Okay. And then your patties, are they always thin?
So all of our patties are going to be 7 ounces.
Okay.
And they're it's a pretty decent sized burger, but for the most time, they're usually pretty thick and nice.
And you said that you've tasted a lot of burgers. That's your life, that's what you do. So when you're tasting, you know, you chose the smaller patty. So what is the difference between the smaller patty and the bigger, juicy one?
So for the smash burger, you want this like broad, flat patty like this, so you can smash it down. Part of the pleasure of the dish is like it's gonna get everywhere. It's gonna be flat. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed the sauces are on the bottom of it.
Yeah, always.
Not like one on the bottom, one on the top.
It always helps seal the bun.
Okay.
And you know, it's all about getting that perfect bite. And with some of our burgers have so many garnishes on, like that. Our Western, it gets like almost 8 inches tall sometimes.
Love that.
Wow.
It's a mouthful, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the sauce is on the bottom. It just works out great.
So the smashing, does that come in when you bite, or am I supposed to just?
Oh, you can smash it down if you want.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about just making it as flat as possible, quick and easy.
Got it. I'm ready to try this. What about you?
Okay, here we go.
While we do this, start telling us about your milkshakes.
So our milkshake, so I'm gonna do a cookies and cream. So it's basically just vanilla ice cream, a little bit of milk, and some cookies in there, blend it up, and we build up top. We have 7 different types of milkshakes, 6 that are always on the menu, and then we have a weekly rotating one. So this week I'm doing a pineapple margarita.
Oh,
It's really good.
milkshake?
Yeah.
Wait, is there alcohol in there?
Yes.
Most of our milkshakes all come with alcohol.
It's a fun milkshake.
So we do shots on the side with them.
Oh my gosh. This is
So
one of the
that-
best veggie burgers I've ever had. I don't know if it's the sauce or how you did it, but it's magical. It's so good. So,
The
so
sauce
yummy.
is fantastic. It's sweet
Why don't
and
you go
salty.
ahead and blend up that milkshake for us? I'm excited to try that.
What does the inside of your place look like? So people can get, is it like an old school diner place, or is it a new unique?
Very rock and roll,
Okay.
very like 90s grunge kind of feel. We're in the Hotel Monaco downtown, but we're sort of on the side of the building. So you come in, it's a big room, loud, lots of music. They don't make restaurants like that anymore. It is a big, old school, like kind of rock and roll feel.
Do you have a jukebox?
We don't have a jukebox.
We have a karaoke.
You gotta get a
We do have a
jukebox.
karaoke room.
Karaoke, even better.
I want to swipe the.
And you also
whatever
do
those things are.
drag brunches?
We do drag brunches.
Tell us about that.
Second Sunday of every month. It's a big part of what we do. We convert our whole dining room over into a theater. Curtains, everything. When you get about 100 people in usually, it's a lot of fun. It's like a 4-hour-long show. We do special menus, special everything, all kinds of really cool cocktails, like soup. Like we already are over the top, and we go even more over the top.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited to try this milkshake. And as we get that, thank you both so much, Ben and Dakota. We've got a link with more info on Outlier up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Oh, look at that.
And chocolate.
With chocolate on the top.
Well, we're not
How
going to waste
cute.
that one. I'll just have that.
Yeah, you just take
We
that.
gotta wait for the best part.
Oh, there's more?
We're not done.
Oh my gosh. We're almost out of time. I'm taking a bite.
We're in it.
It's all about the glitter.
There's
Oh,
glitter?
get some glitter.
There's always glitter.
Oh my God. Happy Friday. We'll see you Monday. This has been such an amazing week. There's blue glitter.
It's happening all around.